Dollar. Dirt on money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. We have today 6 most disturbing forest encounters caught on camera. I keep telling y'all, quit taking y'all tails into these forests. Quit. But if you do go in the forest, make sure you got a camera.
A camera?
Yes. And make sure
and some other stuff.
And make sure you're not alone. You are not alone.
Not alone.
I
got a camera.
You.
And something to protect
we
yourself.
We are record. Yeah. Because I'm not getting caught in the camera. Like in the forest by myself.
Yeah.
Man, that's where people come up missing at. But hey, with that being said, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want first support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals.
Like it with a thumbs up.
But hey. Oh, did you say they had some more? My bad. I was
had
trolling.
Some more what?
Like other supplies you recommend?
I just said a camera, not alone, and something to protect yourself.
What's something to protect yourself?
You know. A
pew,
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 pew.
pew. It's a 22.
Some child, a knife. That something, just something. I ain't saying
it's a knife.
Child.
Pew, pew, pew. It's a
pew,
2-2. Let's go, y'all.
Daniel O'Neill.
Oh, also, before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I've been forgetting some of these videos. But do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Roll to 200Ks is on the way. I don't think we're going to be able to get it by the end of the month. But let's get there close as possible. We could hit it. We could. Y'all just got to share the videos. Because YouTube don't share our videos. Man. Until 3-4 days later. And then, I don't know what's up. We
don't recommend
my
them.
Bad.
Dang.
My bad. We shadowed right now. It is what it is.
We are, y'all.
Like, we've been shadowed for about a month and a half now. We know why. We know when it happened. We know where it happened because.
We just gotta get out the clear.
Yeah. But let's go.
Daniel O'Neill is a YouTuber from the UK with a channel called English Woodsman, where he's been uploading videos of his wild camping, stealth camping, and woodland camping trips in the UK for almost 10 years. Most of the channel's videos feature Daniel reviewing camping gear for his viewers and showing footage of his adventures in the great outdoors. For the most part, they're pretty tame, but in August 2023, he uploaded a video of his camping trip in the woodlands close to his home, and the footage is pretty disturbing. The first part of the video pretty much just shows Daniel walking through the woods and talking to his subscribers, eating berries, and pointing out the sights on the way to the campsite. At several points along the way, he pauses to mention the footprints and garbage he sees lying on the trail, indicating other people had been there in the last few days.
Someone's been here. There's a lot of rubbish around here. Look at the state of this. Does get used, doesn't it?
Yeah.
After about a 20-minute walk, he sits down at a clearing where he plans to set up camp for the night and leans back on a tree to eat his noodles as he talks to the camera. It's not until around 25 minutes into the video that things start to get seriously disturbing for Daniel.
I'm going to be out Friday night, but I'm going away Saturday, so I've got a bit of a drive as well, so I didn't want to be tired, and it's going to throw it down Friday night as well, and rain camping is really good.
And I heard voices.
What you say?
I heard some voices too. And the footsteps sound a little too close.
They do sound close, don't they?
But you are in the woods too.
Is that a badger?
Fuck a badger. Them sound heavy.
Hello?
Like a big boy.
It could be an animal, but whatever's walking sound heavy.
Chew. Yeah, maybe so. I'm trying to do a little prance, but
it could
But it may be people. It sound like a person.
That sound like people, though.
It sound like a fool.
That sound like just 2 feet walking. It don't sound like 4.
And then the voices in the back, that's somebody.
But also, this is a heavily, I guess, a heavily camped out area. Man, boy, just be on alert, man.
Yeah,
just put your antennas up, man.
Even though some pretty human-like footsteps could be heard right behind Daniel, as soon as he turns around to scan his environment, there's nobody in sight. What's most disturbing is that as soon as he turned around and yelled hello, the footsteps immediately stopped. For the next few minutes, he sits down and tries to regain his composure as he sips his coffee and eats his noodles, but things only continue to get even more creepy as the sun begins to set.
There's that noise again now.
What if it could be an animal though? Because the forest ain't thick; it's very dense, right? So you will be able to see through. Like the trees are not that thick, and it's not as bushy. So I'll be able to see if it's unless they got good camo, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be optimistic about it, man.
I feel you. It's good.
Hello? You got a bit of that. There's nobody here.
About 40 minutes into the video, the footstep noises can be heard again, and this time it sounds like they're getting closer to Daniel. By this point, most people would have hightailed it out of there without any hesitation, but Daniel decides to sit back down to finish his dinner as he tries to calm his nerves for the second time. Amazingly, a few minutes later, it almost seems like he completely forgets about the footsteps and manages to think about less disturbing things, which is honestly pretty impressive. But as darkness sets in, the eerie footsteps start up again.
I'm going to be honest. I can't stay here now. I'm going to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments, but I can't stay here. I'm too unsettled. I'm nervous. I've done camping like this a load of times. I think I'm going to go find somewhere else to get this bivvy set up. But I'm leaving this spot.
I would have been left.
Understandably, after this third incident, Daniel decides to head somewhere else for the night to play it safe. It's hard to know what exactly was making those sounds, but because they sounded very similar to human footsteps, it's possible that Daniel was being stalked by someone in the woods. This is obviously incredibly dangerous, as you can never really trust someone's intentions when you're in such a vulnerable position, all by yourself in unknown territory. It was either that or an animal walking through the grass, but because Daniel mentioned the grass was a little wet and wouldn't have made that dry sound if an animal stepped on it, this is pretty unlikely. Also, many people in the comments mentioned that no animal walks that uniform and steady. They stop, go, and change pace constantly. Either way, it's a good thing.
And they would have been low. You would have heard like they wrestling against them. It sounded like somebody like picking up their feet and planting.
Like an actual foot, yeah.
Because if it was the animal, you would have had multiple, and it would have been quicker, and you would have had rustle too, because they would have been wrestling against the. Because it looked like bushes very low, but the trees are very, I don't know.
He decided to leave because who knows what could have happened to Daniel that night.
That could have been bad.
The Rampant Range is part of a front range of the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, made up of almost entirely public land within the Pike National Forest. In the summer, you'll find lots of bikers enjoying the Rampant Range's elaborate trail system and exploring the great outdoors. For the most part, this part of Colorado is a paradise for anyone who enjoys spending time in nature. But over the past few years, there's been a pretty alarming trend on the rise, with random people setting up wires on trees at just about head height in an effort to seriously injure bikers on the trail. In 2019, a post describing this terrifying trend was uploaded to Facebook. And disturbingly, the uploader mentioned that one of his high school friends had lost his life as a result of running into a similar wire on a trail. Immediately, people jumped into the comments to point out how incredibly messed up it would be to do something like this, and how this kind of evil needs to be categorized as attempted murder if the suspects are ever caught. A couple of years before that post,
I ain't gonna hold you. I went through a little rabbit hole of these type of videos. Remember what? A couple months back, I was watching them like crazy, especially at night, just watching them. And the way they come through, like they on a motorcycle though, but the ones are they? Like on a motorbike?
Yeah.
Or they could, but the ones I used to watch, they was on bicycles, right?
Yeah.
And the way they come so fast and hitting them curves and corners and stuff.
If something like that was like,
yeah,
before you could realize it, it'd be too late.
That's scary, bro.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
See, hey y'all, she liked.
I was just listening to you.
But cause the way they like, cause we even seen some stuff. I'd be like, bro, I don't think I could make that. They be like, shoo, and they come so fast. So you just imagine a rope.
Because they already be having the obstacles of like the trees and stuff being in the way and like hurting themselves like that. But imagine someone like that's evil.
And sometimes the rope can be so thin where you really can't see it. And because some of them joints are wired, the wire ones. So just imagine, and that's immediate gone.
Yeah.
Was made. In 2017, 2 motorbike riders uploaded a video to YouTube of their encounter with a similar wire. And although nothing happened to them, it was a very close call.
Woo.
That is so like
Scary
and evil for someone to do something like that, knowing what type of trail it is.
When these wires are set up off trail, it can be hard to tell whether they were placed there out of malice or if a random camper or farmer placed the wires there to hang up clothes or something similar.
True.
But in cases like these where the wires are specifically placed on the trail, there's really only one reason people would do that, and that's to bring serious harm to bikers for some reason. Possibly they're annoyed with the constant loud sound of the bikes near their property or something else. But hopefully more measures can be taken in the future to prevent more people from getting hurt, especially because it's not uncommon to hear about motorbikers and snowmobilers losing their lives over this kind of stuff. This audio was uploaded to YouTube by a user named ForestFire21. He recorded it around 2 a.m. in December 2014. The uploader lives in a forest, and he mentioned that the noises in the audio were coming from deep in the woods behind his house.
At first, I thought it was just somebody in that, you know, somebody just trying to, because it sounded like she said. I was about to do it. I said, no, let me stop. But that would sound like somebody was getting it on. I feel like they one with nature right now. And we went on camera, I'd do it. It's because she'll bust out laughing. But at first it did kind of.
Let me hear it. Let me see. Let me see what it sounds like.
In his house.
Did that first one, did it not sound like a Lamone?
No.
She just,
ain't got no sense.
That nigga hear that smart. What animal did they say be sounding like they be?
They can mimic him like.
Man, hey, quit going into the woods at night.
What animal is it?
I don't know. We watched the video. Then you gotta look.
Yeah.
But cause one of them sound like a baby. Like what's a mountain cat?
Your memory would be better than mine.
Yeah. Nah.
It's hard to make out what the child is yelling, but after listening closely, several users jumped in the comments to point out that you can also hear an adult voice yelling, "Where are you?" In addition to the young female voice making most of the noise, this quieter, more subtle male voice that can also be heard in the audio only makes the whole incident that much more disturbing. Near the end of the video, the uploader mentions that after that night, he checked the news every day to see if he could find some explanation for the screams, but he never did. The fact that the screaming was captured at around 2 a.m. in the freezing cold weather and in the middle of the woods indicates that the uploader could have genuinely recorded something pretty sinister taking place that night.
That is true.
It's hard to tell why the uploader would record and upload the audio instead of immediately calling the police after hearing a female voice in such obvious distress.
And to continue to walk like ain't nothing going on. Well, I don't know the full footage, so I'm not even going to speak on that. But that's a little disturbing. Huh?
What am I supposed to do?
I would have laid low and like
like
try to see if I can.
Oh, okay.
I'm not just gonna casually just keep walking.
Try to find where it's coming from. That's what I thought you were saying. My bad.
I ain't finna do that. Yeah, now I'm a like.
Yeah.
But at this point, there's not much that can be done about it. And who knows? Maybe the uploader did call the police.
Who knows?
There wasn't much context given in the video's description. We can only hope that whatever problem happened that night was eventually solved, but based on the shrillness of the screams and the strangeness of the whole situation, we probably won't ever be able to know for sure. Lisa is a life coach and YouTuber who often uploads videos of what it's like living in her van and traveling the country on her own. One afternoon in 2022, Lisa had parked her van on the side of the road and left the side door of her van open while she cooked her dinner inside, when suddenly a sketchy-looking guy approached her, poked his head in her van without her permission, and started asking her some pretty bizarre questions in French, a language Lisa doesn't speak.
What?
When she mentioned she didn't understand what he was saying, he pulled out a translator app to try to communicate with her, which obviously made her pretty uncomfortable, especially since she wasn't interested in talking to him in the first place after he invaded her personal space. After watching the guy struggle to use Google Translate for a few minutes, Lisa decided she'd had enough and shut the side door in his face, also closing the curtain to make sure the guy got the hint. Strangely, for over half an hour, the guy then stood outside in the rain and tinkered with the translator app to try to communicate with Lisa, even after she made it more than obvious that she wanted nothing to do with him.
Unless he needed some help that dire, I don't know.
Where they at?
It looked like it was possibly like a rest stop or something. I don't know.
Oh, I was like, was it a gas station or something?
I don't see it.
It may be a rest stop.
And there might not be a lot of people traveling, you know what I'm saying? So...
Okay, he just moved even closer so that I can't move out, so that I can't go forward.
Oh no. What you got going?
Try to be optimistic, y'all.
Please leave, you sketchy person. Please leave.
He probably needs some directions or something. He'll be lost. But he got a cell phone.
I'm sorry.
And he's trying to use Google Translate.
You got a GPS. Yeah. I'm good. I'm by myself. Yeah. I'm all for helping people, but I gotta.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I'm trying to be optimistic, but y'all know women intuition. So
I'm good.
I'm trying to be the look at the brighter side of things and not say everybody who looks sketchy is sketchy. You know, you might look sketchy to somebody. You know,
I may look sketchy to someone.
You might look like a leak to somebody. Somebody might be plotting on you.
You never know. You never know.
But hey, you might, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to be optimistic about things, you know?
I'm a very optimistic person, but I'm definitely like...
Pay attention to the intuition, huh?
Yeah, I'm very
that woman intuition is never wrong.
I try to be very aware of my surroundings. I am going to trust my gut. I have common sense. And I am going to use it. And no, sir, you got a phone. You better use that. You better use that GPS. What's up? What you want? We ain't got nothing to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
With a very shady demeanor, the man snuck into the bushes and pretty much just stalked Lisa from a distance, as if he thought she couldn't see him.
But
as the sun began to set, Lisa kept an eye on the guy outside to make sure he didn't try to get close to her again. But the man just kept on bringing his car closer to her van and blocking her exit in different ways for more than half an hour.
This guy is really starting to freak me out. shower, and it just keeps
It's
on
raining hard,
moving
too.
his vehicle so that he can see in my
That's some
van
good sleeping
here.
weather.
Anyways, it's 7 o'clock, 7 p.m.
Fortunately, just as darkness had begun to set in, a family in an RV pulled up right behind Lisa and spent the night in the same parking lot as her, which comforted her enough to stay there the entire evening. Disturbingly, the guy left soon after the other family arrived, but came back about 3 hours later in the dead of night to check if Lisa was still there. When he saw the other family in the RV was also still in the parking lot, he left and didn't come back. The next morning, Lisa left early and never saw the guy again. It's hard to tell what the guy's exact intentions were, but based on his overall sketchy demeanor and questionable behavior, they couldn't have been anything good. The one thing we can be sure about is that it's a good thing the other family in the RV arrived at the parking lot when they did. Otherwise, who knows what the man would have done to Lisa.
Facts.
In May 2014, an Imager user uploaded a blog post where he talked about the time he went to visit a friend in northern Germany. According to the uploader, his friend told him about these pipes that he had found in the woods near his house that stuck up out of the ground like periscopes. Apparently, his friend and his siblings played near the pipes as kids and knew that there were bunkers hidden below them, but their parents never allowed them to get near them out of concern for their safety.
Where was this at? Germany? Could it be something from the war?
Good.
I'm like, situation, you know what I'm saying? Situation like this would be something from the war type, and could landmines be around? You know?
Below them, but their parents never allowed them to get near them out of concern for their safety. During the visit narrated in the blog post, the uploader and his friend decided to check out the pipes and finally go down into the bunkers that they never had permission to explore when they were younger, and they found some pretty disturbing stuff. A few hundred feet away from the trees, they found the entrance to the bunker covered with a loosely placed piece of wood that they easily removed with a crowbar. Once inside, all they could see were these long, seemingly endless hospital-like hallways that extended for thousands of feet under the woods. As they ventured further and further into the maze of tunnels, they found graffiti on some of the walls, indicating they weren't the first people to get the idea to explore the underground bunkers. To the explorers' horror, one of the walls deep inside the tunnels had the word "help" in German graffitied all over it. It's possible that it was just sprayed on there by another group of teens trying to be funny, but the eerie nature of the bunker coupled with the general state of disarray really makes you wonder if something more sinister took place down there at some point, possibly even written by German soldiers in the later parts of World War II. As they traveled deeper into the bunker, they found some more disturbing graffiti, with one of the eeriest messages reading, "Hello Satan, I love you." Obviously, that's not the kind of message you want to see in a tunnel system like this, but the two friends decided to keep on exploring anyway. After several hours down in the bunker, they ended up finding tons of more twisting, winding hallways, flooded rooms with old machines, and dark, narrow corridors that reached dead ends, but nothing more disturbing than the graffiti they had found a few hours earlier. The explorers managed to make it out of there safely and didn't go back there again.
I wonder why, like, certain countries don't keep like stuff like that up. I'm not even certain countries. I don't understand why all countries don't keep that up. Well, it probably costs a lot of money.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe that'll be
a lot of financial responsibility
and
to
then
keep
for
that
this
up.
For this one, for instance, it's like underground.
But I'm just saying, because you never know
like,
what situation might occur where it's already established and built there. If we keep it up,
yeah, I feel
if something happens, we can utilize it.
But it may be costly.
Yeah, but like the expenses behind actually keeping it up, functioning for people to be able to be in there, is probably very expensive. That's crazy. But that's nice to. But 9 times out of 10 it's from the war.
More than likely, yeah.
In the summer of 2016, reports started surfacing that people were finding dangerous booby traps along a very well-known hiking trail in the High Mountain Park Preserve in Wayne, New Jersey. As per the police reports, the traps mostly consisted of boards with nails sticking out of them, barbed wire, broken bottles placed along the trails behind or near rocks or logs, and other treacherous materials. As more and more complaints started coming in, police warned people to keep an eye out for the traps and even organized cleanup efforts to keep hikers safe during their treks. What's most disturbing is that these traps were clearly placed there to hurt people, as there's really no other reason to put nails and barbed wire on the ground in the middle of such a popular hiking trail. The fact that someone would take the time to get out on the trail, build a booby trap in such detail, and place it there with the intention to do harm to other people and their pets is honestly pretty messed up. But it didn't take the cops too long to make an educated guess as to who was behind the whole thing. Although they never found the individual suspects responsible for placing the traps on the trail, the sheriff's department determined that the traps had probably something to do with the feud between hikers and bikers who had been fighting over use of the trail for decades. According to many nearby residents, it's common for bikers on the trail to speed past the hikers without ringing their bells or announcing their presence, which has led to several injuries and rising tensions between the two groups over the years.
So it could have been the actual walkers putting it there
to like flatten
for
the tires,
the
bikers and stuff like that.
because everything's like pricky.
Yeah.
So if you running
the
real
glass,
fast,
the nails, put it under there, you're not gonna see it.
I don't think it's for the walkers. I think it's really for the bikers.
Cause I'm like, if a biker put that there for the walkers, baby, you are.
And it wouldn't make sense for a biker to put that down. Because
the glass, no, the wire, I can probably kind of see that. But the nails, because if I step on it, it can get lodged like in your.
But if I ride on it, it's gonna flatten. If I ride over the barbed wire, it's gonna flatten.
And the glass,
maybe
the glass. Yeah,
the glass. The only one I'm like, it could be
like
more.
If you run over how it like turn or something to like puncture your tire.
Still, it's hard to imagine that someone would take the issue to the point of trying to harm an entire group of people so maliciously with such brutal methods.
Right.
Fortunately, no one was hurt as a result of the traps, but the suspects responsible were never found.
Yeah, that's just dangerous.
People go through go such the extra mile to like
harm someone,
to harm people, or just like, can we like just share the trail? Like I
man,
get,
we ain't sharing shit.
I mean, I get like you want them. Okay, let's compromise. Just okay. If they want you to ring just ring the darn bell.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
Keep people from getting hurt. Show a sign of like respect. Okay, we can both share this. Coexist on this trail. It's not that hard. Grow up.
Yeah.
But
hey, man, y'all spam us up. Let us know your thoughts and opinions about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid and Sis.
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid
We out.
No time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me.